My husband is, well, he's required to speak publicly.
I have received...
Perhaps he should change jobs.
And what if my husband were the king?
I intend to be a very good queen, to a very great king.
Forget everything else and just say it to me.
I think there was a moment that Tom Hooper, the director, and I both found a key, which was the very first thing we shot. I don't think either of us really knew what we had or where we were going until we committed the first scene to film. Tom talked about negative space, and he got this idea of framing me in what he called negative space. Let's get him off center and use this lens, which is by no means flattering. If you look at Logue and what is behind him, it's wonderful, reassuring domestic clutter. So every time you look back at Logue, he's surrounded by a tea kettle and his kids' toys and books and a fireplace, and you know, it's a clutter of a functional personality. What you get with Bertie is an abyss.
What was your earliest memory?
I'm not here to discuss personal matters.
Well, why are you here then?
Because I bloody well stammer!
This is the case of a man who has written himself off.
The nation believes that when I speak for them, but I can't speak.
You could do it. You needn't be governed by fear.
Being misunderstood, misjudged. And this is the story of somebody trying to reach him and convince him otherwise.
And up comes your Royal Highness.
All right, Bertie. Yes. It's actually quite good fun.
Now, to be judged as dull-witted and ignorant because of a communication problem would be probably one of the most traumatic and debilitating issues I can imagine.
Do you know any jokes?
Timing isn't my strong suit.
Because I think it's so complex and so strange. There's something that always sticks in my mind about the moment when he's watching Hitler. I just think in the context of our story, it's like, wow, this is my future adversary. And he can speak like that, and people march to the sound of his voice, and I can't even get a word out. It's just envy.
What's he say?
I don't know, but he seems to be saying it rather well.
I don't work with dialect coaches very often. I've played American characters a few times, and a dialect coach, yeah, it's helpful, but you know, I don't feel dependent. This time I worked rigorously with a dialect coach to play an Englishman.
Well,
Your first wartime speech.
Broadcast to the nation and the world.
This great time of crisis.
As Brits, we've forgotten how we used to speak 70 years ago. I think Americans spoke differently too. If you look at movies of the 1930s or listen to news broadcasts, it's a different sound. And it wasn't until Guy Pearce showed up on the set, who is an Australian.
He hasn't seen me.
And he was much closer to that 1930s sound than any of us were, because he'd worked just that little bit harder and made that reach.
Art thou a
This
fear?
film deals so much in repression and the damage that certain protocols can do to a human being in isolating that person. I think that without observing that clipped language, those ways in which people protect themselves, we would have lost something valuable.
Please don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Everything about working with Jeffrey made it easy.
I believe sucking smoke into your lungs will kill you.
My physicians say it relaxes the throat.
They're idiots.
They've all been knighted.
Makes it official then.
Working with someone who is as mentally agile and capable and funny and mischievous as Jeffrey just meant that so much of it was a free ride.
George the Stammerer, who let his people down so badly in their hour of need. What are you doing? Get up, you can't sit there, get up!
Why not? It's a chair.
No, that is not a chair, that is St. Edward's chair.
People have carved their names on it.
Listen to me!
Listen to you, by what right?
Because I have a right to be, and I have a voice!
Yes, you do.